Tonight we're getting a new look at a massive collision. Take a look at this. It involves a very expensive yacht and a number of other boats.
When things go wrong at sea, there's no turning back. Massive ships plus tiny mistakes equals moments of pure chaos.
Hey! Oh my God!
These heart-pounding moments, caught on camera, will leave you stunned at just how fast things can spiral out of control. That was the most gentle collision ever caught on camera. It's like it tiptoed right into the other ship. Crew members escaped just as a cargo ship rolled over on its side at Istanbul port. Later recorded by one of the crew members, shows the aftermath.
Az siktir, durmayacak, çarpacak.
Kalacak. Eyvah.
Ship rammed into a waterfront mansion in Istanbul after its rudder got stuck. According to reports, the mansion is an 18th century building that is used for wedding ceremonies. Now, either a ship tour is part of the experience or would be used for failing marriages. Tough choice. In Taiwan, a container ship sank just off the coast of Kaohsiung. Its cargo was bobbing all over the ocean. Its anchors are already down, which means the captain obviously tried to stop it, but couldn't. So my guess is rear engine failure. What do you think? After losing power, the cargo ship was unlucky that there was a bridge right in front of it. It occurred in Baltimore just 10 months ago. Another close-up angle revealed more details. What would happen if my friends and I started sailing? Doesn't look like they were trying to salvage anything, right? This was a mining boat that toppled over right on the shore. And yes, this is old footage from the 1940s. It was meant for sightseeing. This became a site inspection. Perhaps a bit too close for taking in the view, don't you think? That's gonna come out of the policeman's pocket or taxpayers. In any case, the DC police are responsible for this. $1 million boat rams into the rocks, again and again and again. I can go on and on in waves. One must always pick the right day to go out on a boat. Otherwise, this is what will end up happening. Absolute legend chucking that can after what happened.
Tonight we're getting a new look at a massive collision. Take a look at this. It involves a very expensive yacht and a number of other boats.
A millionaire's biggest enemy is a billionaire, because his massive yacht parked right into small yachts in Port Angeles. Insurance won't cover this.
Well, an unforgettable prom night in Hoboken, New Jersey, after a yacht hosting the event crashes into another yacht.
This yacht was hosting a high school prom. Now it'll be hoisted out of the back of a docked boat. Let's hope no one was performing their Time of My Life when it happened. A massive chunk of the bridge in China fell after a container ship malfunctioned and parked right into the pillars. Looks like when someone brushes something soft like grass against your neck. So you do that shoulder shrug thing. Basically, that is what this oil tanker did with a vessel at the port in Taiwan. If you're going to rob a yacht, don't make it that easy for the cops. And what's worse is, this person would be spending more than just some jail time. Maybe, just maybe, he is going a bit too fast. Yep, he was. Glad he's okay though. Panama flagged container ship collided with gantry crane in Indonesia. That's some back luck. A Liberia-flagged cargo ship ran aground onto a pedestrian walkway along the Bosphorus Strait in Istanbul, Turkey. Although it happened back in December of 2019, seeing it for the first time is surreal. Thankfully, no pedestrians were in the vicinity at the time of the crash. Cargo ship had an engine failure and it couldn't have happened in the worst time and place possible. It got docked right into a store in New Orleans. Thankfully, an announcement was made to evacuate minutes before, so everyone was safe at the end of the day. The name of the container ship is so ironic. It ended up colliding right into a container crane, causing it to fall. Maybe the luck was the fact that everyone was safe afterwards. Why is he shouting? It's not like they are doing it on purpose or can even hear him. Also, don't they look a bit weird here? Or is it the camera angle?
How close was that to your deck?
Really close, because I see them every day for 7 years, and I tell you, I've never seen anything that close.
This oil tanker wanted to take some load off of a container ship. Pretty sure the other captain didn't appreciate this act of chivalry. Don't know who was at fault here. Cruise ship cruised right into a tourist boat and the dock on Venice Beach. Maybe it was a malfunction, or the captain couldn't steer the ship in time. A rope broke that caused this ship to smash the waterfront railings in Shanghai. Good thing is, no one was on deck nor near the railings. A large ship lost control after engine failure, which resulted in this shocking video capture. There was once a bridge. Now there are parts of the bridge with the ship. A Russian cargo ship played limbo with a bridge in South Korea. We all know how this went. I don't think you can park there. Pretty sure the Turkish authorities had a tough week after this incident. Jack Sparrow would be devastated if he looked at this. Or maybe he would be the cause of something like this. Whatever the scenario, this is kinda heartbreaking. Watching whales? How about to watch the massive cruise ship sailing right into the dock? Sometimes, no matter what you do, certain bad things will happen. But at least they weren't as hopeful as they were logical. Jumped off at the right time. In Shanghai, a cargo ship single-handedly took down a crane at the dock after the captain mistimed docking angle. The crane sank like it was nothing. At least that's what I've heard, but it could be something else. Let me know in the comments. Big breeze. Small boat. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win. I'll give you 5 seconds. If you guessed right then, you're perceptive. At least they were right side up afterwards. Yeah, that's a good spot to dock a ferry. Why make people walk a few steps when you drop them off right at the office? Genius. Yeesh, pretty sure that's going to be long haul trying to clean up this mess. Gonna cost more than an anchor and deck.
Out on the water with the Army Corps of Engineers. Look at the massive Dolly container ship to Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge laying on top of it, now crushed under a massive piece of steel, submerged under the wreckage. Here's the challenge. They need to clear a 700-foot stretch right here to allow ships to get in and out.
I had to show this because the skill involved to go through smaller boats is amazing. But our compilation is about people who are the opposite, so back to it. A cruise ship crashed into a crane on the port of Barcelona. It later fell, causing it to even catch on fire. Luckily, the workers had already left the area. Remember that prom yacht that rammed into a docked boat? Well, turns out it didn't just ram into it, but carried the docked boat from its dock all the way into the canal.
Now talk about crashing the party.
A yacht full of high school students celebrating their prom crashed into another boat in Hoboken.
Yacht slams into Haulover Inlet Bridge in Miami, Florida. I think whoever was steering the boat didn't know how to judge the currents properly. Besides, Florida Inlet does look a bit tricky to maneuver through.
He's gonna hit it. Whoa. Ooh.
A guy got first row seats as two massive ships collided. It was a slow process, and the anticipation could fill an entire hull. At the end, it wasn't that much of an issue, right? Passenger ferry slams into a pier in the Canary Islands, which caused oil to spill from the pipes below the pier. A Disney cruise ship made a grand entrance, right into a dock. If only Little Mermaid would do her job. Or maybe she did, who knows?
I knew that was gonna happen.
Now that is a yacht in trouble. Happened in Tunisia some time ago. But look at the hull. That's gonna cost a bit more than just a couple of bucks. Can't dock their buddy. But it is impressive the height it reached.
And I'm gonna get out of the way really quickly here so you can see that boat still on the jetty right there perched along the rocks.
This is the equivalent of trying on jeans 3 sizes short. Some captains are either too bold or too unaware.
Ha toccato.
Due to high winds, a cargo ship was run aground at the pier. And you want to know the name of the ship? Huang Rong. Yeah, it sounds eerily similar to something.
So a general cargo ship has run aground in Italy in very rough weather. The vessel named Guang Rong, which sounds Chinese to me.
You might want to slow down just a bit. No, okay. Pudong Port in China got docked by an unstoppable cargo ship way back in 2021. So this footage comes from a military camera captured at night. It shows an unidentified ship.
As it kept going, you heard the screeching and we looked, and it sounded like it was hitting the bridge.
There were a lot of people who witnessed this ship as it kinda really annoyed this poor kayak. All jokes aside, people were shocked by this sight that occurred at Port Bay Harbor. This might be the last boat he ever travels on, and also the last anyone sees the one sailing it. Even Kim Jong-un isn't safe from mishaps. Don't worry, Mr. Kim, your hairline is fine. Not like it could get worse. Navy is at it again by trying to save a sinking ship. Not to take anything away from this drastic incident, but this scene is very ironic, almost poetic. A tiny nibble in comparison to what we have seen today so far. But you gotta be rich to own one of these. So pretty sure the owners felt more than a small nudge. after this oil tanker got beached in Thailand. It remained there for an entire month. Yep, and then it took them 2 whole weeks to complete the salvage operation. Now how it happened is unknown, but it happened, and that's all that matters. Whoa, that anchor isn't doing its job that well. Okay, my bad. It did stop, but at the last possible inch. Phew, I am not an expert, but I am sure ships aren't supposed to be doing that. That hole doesn't belong there, and it's much more interesting how this even happened. But no details on that, so enjoy the visual. That sounded expensive. He didn't expect this to happen on his fishing trip. Obviously, he wasn't too happy about this exchange. PD 126 wanted to ask the other boat about its warranty, and maybe its insurance as well, because that doesn't seem like a minor mistake. Cue the Jaws music. The moment was overwhelming as a container ship made its way right into a university sports ground in Hong Kong.
Does somebody have a heart attack at the wheel? That is...
Thanks to the crew members dropping anchor at the last second, something catastrophic was avoided. Just cruised right into a dock in Falmouth, Jamaica. But it is not known what exactly happened that caused this. Shocking scenes unfolded in the Isle of Wight when an oil tanker got caught in the middle of a racing series. The yacht wasn't as lucky as the people on board. Salvaging ships looks like a fun activity, but I'm pretty sure a lot of skill is required to deliberately crash into something.
Stop, bro, stop!
At first, I thought all of them were too close, but now they are all fine. Trust me, this isn't what it looks like. This was deliberately done, and it's a common practice for salvaging stuff from old ships. Now this is on another level. Either the captain of the yacht was fed up with smaller boats taking his spot, or someone forgot to put the anchor down. Actually, hold that thought. I think they are moving it away from the dock.
Abbucciato! Poco le barche.
Cargo ship collided with a train ship in a Dutch canal. Aerial drone shot shows just how awkward the angle was, so it's impressive that a small mistake caused this. What you're looking at is a cargo ship slowly but surely beaching itself on a Russian island, which led to the governor sounding the alarm. The bigger ship was like, I choose you small boat to ram into. Gladly, the smaller boat was docked and empty, and who knows, maybe this was a strategic attempt by the captain of the cargo ship to minimize the aftermath. It could have been worse. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad that it wasn't. Oh, okay. Yeah, something seems off about this boat. I wonder what that might be. Actually, its port side is open, like it has got into an accident. Or this has been stranded here for a long time. $1 million nightmare indeed. Boat called the Viking, which is 92 feet in size, beached itself, so it was up to the US Coast Guard to get it out. And I must give credit to the dedication and efforts of these divers. The owner needs to pay them in good faith. These people, they just watched as a sailboat rammed into a ferry. One of them should have dove into the water and stopped the boat. At least it wasn't anything too extreme. The nose of the sailboat was the issue. So why didn't the person sailing retract it before it knocked out some parts of the boat in front? Rather small issue in the grand scheme of things.
Go forward! Go forward! Whoa! Hey! Back down! Come on! Mark! Go up here! Pull it! Mark! Pull it! Trim your sheets!
Some make a mistake once and regret it. Then there are moments like these. Watch, that's one, and again! Whoever was behind the helm had to make sure they messed up properly. Also, that yacht looks expensive. A wedding ceremony to remember forever, but not for the common reasons. Got too distracted by the bridesmaids, I guess. Happens to the best of us.